Welcome to Get Your Customers to Vote for You. Happy Election Day. I'm Andy Carone from the Sales and Marketing team here at SIM, and I'll be your moderator today. That's me and Fred at one of our Halloween parties here at SIM. And here's a link if you'd like to meet Fred. Some quick housekeeping items. We will be presenting just under 15 minutes of content today with some time for Q&A at the end. All attendees will be on mute. Please use the question tab if you'd like to communicate with the presenter or myself during the webinar. And we invite you to tweet during the webinar at #SimWebinar. A little information about SIM Partners. Velocity is our SaaS solution, local CMS that increases local, mobile, and social visibility at a local level. And our Velocity social platform is a social CRM that promotes fan engagement at a local level. Now, let me introduce you to our presenter, Steve King. He is our VP of Product Strategy here at SIM Partners. Steve.
Thanks, Andy. Good afternoon, everyone. As Andy mentioned, I'm the VP of Product here at SIM Partners. What that means is that I coordinate and plan out product and product enhancements for our flagship product, Velocity, which helps local businesses manage their local and social online presence. I've been in the local search space for the last 8 years, doing a bunch of different things. So obviously part of that is product management, but I've also done things like copywriting, search engine optimization, as well as helping a lot of businesses plan out a review strategy. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. Things that we'll cover are the importance of reviews, how to go about getting reviews, where to push reviews at basically where you want your customers to be reviewing you, things to be wary of when going after reviews, and the best ways to respond to reviews. So today's election day, and elections are a great analogy for getting reviews. If you think about it, reviews are the public's way of expressing their opinions and views on a particular business. So like in any election, it's important to get your supporters mobilized so that way they are promoting your company. Because let's face it, people are not standing in line to leave reviews. You may have a lot of customers coming in the door, but they lead busy lives, and the first thing that they're thinking of is not to go out and leave you reviews. So you really need to get in and work with them and push them towards leaving you more reviews online. Why it's important. Reviews matter. So a lot of businesses are already aware and think of reviews as online word of mouth. So what people are saying and other people are listening to about a particular business can be very helpful, or it can be problematic for a business depending on what those reviews are saying. What a lot of businesses don't realize, though, is that the search engines, their algorithms, take into account information from the reviews themselves to decide which businesses should rank higher within the local search algorithms. So, for example, one of the things the search engines look at are the number of reviews that an individual business has. So, positive or negative, if a business has a lot of reviews, the search engines sort of see this as a popularity contest. A lot of people are obviously talking about them, so chances are a searcher is looking for this business because so many other people have been looking for it. Another thing that the search engines take into account is the content within reviews. So what I mean by that, a great example is there's an Italian restaurant in the city that did a great job with their search engine optimization so that they were ranking well for keywords such as Italian restaurant and 4-star restaurant. But a lot of the reviewers were writing things like best tiramisu in the city, or make sure to try the tiramisu. So the key phrase, tiramisu, kept showing up in a lot of these reviews, and the search engines figured out that if someone was looking for the best tiramisu in Chicago, or best restaurant to go to for tiramisu, that this restaurant should rank really high for that. So because reviews can have such a dramatic impact on where a business ranks online, you definitely want to start campaigning. As we mentioned, a lot of people aren't lining up to leave reviews, so you need to start going after your customers in order to get reviews. Ways to go about getting more reviews. There are a ton of different ideas out there. So one of the most obvious that a lot of people see is posting signs. So I'm sure you've seen in store windows stickers for, leave us a review on Yelp, like us on Facebook, things along those lines. Those are great reminders, but they tend to be a bit of a passive approach. And so unless it's on the forefront of a customer's mind, you're not going to get as many reviews as you could otherwise get. One of the best ways to go about getting reviews is to ask. Ask your patrons when you're doing a face-to-face interaction. Just, say, please, if you've had a good experience, review us on Yelp. That personal interaction goes a long way to getting people to follow through and write reviews online. Another option is to go ahead and add requests for reviews to emails that you send out to customers, as well as receipts. A lot of point of sale systems do allow you to add a little bit of text at the bottom. So just putting a reminder of, review us on Yelp is a great little add-on, because later on in the day, they could be sitting in front of their computer, happen to be going through their wallet and see this receipt, happen to get the email, and they think, hey, yeah, should totally do this right now while I have a few minutes of free time. Another option, this is a great one that a business that I worked with a while back came up with. Reward employees who are mentioned in reviews. So this specific business was a home services business, and they had workers go into a person's home to do some home repairs. And what they said was, hey, to their employees, people who get mentioned in reviews in a positive way, the ones that get the most mentions in a month will be Employee of the Month. So what ended up happening was the employees in their face-to-face interactions would ask their customers, hey, would you mind writing a review on Yelp and mention my name in it? It'll help me get to Employee of the Month. And that really put a greater value on leaving a review for the customer. So a lot more customers did that. This is actually one of the most effective ways I've ever seen. The number of reviews that this particular business ended up generating was just so much more than any other business who employed all the other suggestions that we have on here. Lastly, make it easy for your customers to find the review pages on the sites that you want them to review you on. So establish easy website. So just on your website, go ahead and put the actual landing page on Yelp where someone can go to review your business, so that way it's easier for them to find and they don't have to go through multiple steps going to Yelp, searching for your business, hoping it's the right listing, and then leaving a review. So this brings us to a good question. If you're going to put these links on your website or do some of these other things, where should you be pushing your customers to review you online? There are a lot of different sites where reviews can be left. So, which ones are the best ones? Really how you want to approach this is you want to urge your customers to review you on a variety of sites. You don't want to push everyone towards Yelp or to Google or to Angie's List, but you really want to try to disperse those reviews out to as many sites as possible. Earlier I mentioned that search engines take into account the number of reviews. They look at reviews on a lot of different sites. So how many reviews are on Yelp? How many are on Google? How many are on Yahoo? And they consider all of that. So you don't need to worry, oh, I need to get them all on Google to rank well on Google. The other thing to think about is these are websites. They sometimes have technical difficulties. So sometimes if a site goes down for a little bit or reviews get moved and are transitioned and the site needs to work to get those back, which happens occasionally. Because you've spread out your reviews across a bunch of different sites, they're still out there. You won't have any negative impacts to ranking. Customers will still be able to find reviews, so you'll still be in a good spot. Now, at this point, a lot of businesses I work with get really excited about generating more reviews. It's a pretty easy way to make a big difference in your online marketing. But we do want to put them on the brakes because there are some things that you can do to make some problems for yourself in the future. So things that you want to be wary of. A lot of review sites are very concerned about getting fake reviews. Think about it this way. People go to Yelp, they go to Google to read reviews. If they start to feel that a lot of the reviews are fake, they stop going to those sites. So it's in Yelp's and Google's and Yahoo's best interest to make sure all reviews are legitimate. So they've put a lot of technical algorithms in place in order to try to catch possible fake reviews. So things that you want to be wary of to not trigger any of those automated systems. First off, don't buy fake reviews. There are a lot of businesses out there that will offer to write reviews for your business, get you a lot of reviews on Yelp or Yahoo or wherever. Don't do it. It's not worth the money. The sites themselves could end up penalizing you, and in some industries and in some countries, you could end up receiving fines. Just a few weeks ago, Samsung got caught having put up a bunch of fake reviews, and they're now facing a $350,000 fine. So you just want to avoid this altogether. Next up, a lot of the sites will penalize you if they find out that you're rewarding customers who leave reviews. So things like discounts, coupons, a free dessert. You want that all off the table. You know, if a customer leaves you a review, that's great, that's excellent, that's awesome. Don't give them a bonus for doing it. The last two, don't have an on-site terminal for review submissions. So like don't have a computer sitting out so someone can like leave you a review while they're like standing at your counter. And don't enter comment cards that people leave as reviews on any of these sites. The reason for that is fake reviewers often use one computer or just a couple of computers and send in a lot of reviews. These sites track the machines that are sending the reviews. So it will look like to them that these are fake reviews, even though they're legitimate individual customers leaving reviews. So the big takeaway here is if for any reason it feels shady, just don't do it. You don't want to trigger those technical sides to these sites, and it could just end up causing you a lot of trouble. Now let's talk about responding to reviews. This makes a lot of businesses nervous, rightly so. Things can get kind of sticky if it's not handled in the right way. But luckily, almost every business is well trained in the best ways to do it. They just see it as a completely different medium, and so they feel a little uncomfortable. When responding to reviews, always respond with respect. So remember, responding to reviews is the same thing as in-person customer service, whether you're dealing with a positive or a negative experience. So always respond to both positive and negative reviews. So for a positive review, thank the person for leaving you a review, or you appreciate that they had a good time, and if you remember them, mention that. For negative reviews, remember that responding to a review is not a public debate. People who are reading reviews online realize that there are customers that just haven't had a good experience, had a bad day, these things happen. What they're looking from you is that that you're demonstrating that you have a good customer service approach. So even if someone has had a bad experience, you can deal with them in a polite and level-headed manner. If there's some way to resolve the situation, definitely do that. But just really try to keep a level head. So don't be combative, because again, everyone who's reading these reviews online, even if they're negative reviews, does realize that some customers just aren't happy people. And so those tend to leave negative reviews. So now that we've gone through all of this, if you're going to start working on reviews, what should your action plan be? First, you want to add your business to review sites. So go out to Yelp, go out to Yahoo, go out to Google. Make sure that your business information is there and customers who go to those sites are able to leave you reviews. Second, you want to claim your business listings on as many of these review sites as possible. What this will allow you to do is not only update information about your business on those sites, but you'll also be able to respond to reviewers. Inside your business, you want to advertise for reviews. So whether that's the posters or sending out emails, anything along those lines, asking people for those reviews is the next big step. Then you want to train your staff to ask for reviews. So whether someone's helping someone behind a counter, or it's a server or in-home services, you want to make sure that they remember to ask someone to leave them a review on Yelp, especially if they're aware that this person has had a good experience. And finally, get out there and respond to reviewers, both positive and negative. You don't necessarily need to respond to every single review, but responding to at least some of them on a regular basis is really going to help your business out and make potential customers feel very comfortable coming into your business.
All right. Thank you, Steve. We have some time for questions, so we're going to cover a few. For those of you that we don't get to your questions during this session, we'll be following up with an email to address that with you personally after the webinar. All right, so let me take a look here. We have one coming in. Ashley, how many reviews do I need to get for this to start affecting my ranking?
Good question. So actually, it's not as many as most businesses think. The search engines take into account how recent reviews have been left. Like I mentioned earlier, it's a bit of a popularity contest. They want to figure out who's being most talked about and which businesses are most relevant in the moment. So even just getting 1 or 2 additional reviews a month is going to have a big impact on your rankings very quickly.
Great. All right, and then we have one coming in from Ben. He says, I already have a fair amount of reviews. Should I be focusing on getting more, or would other initiatives be more valuable?
Great question. If you already have a lot of reviews, getting more reviews doesn't necessarily need to be a major initiative for you the way it would be for someone who doesn't have any reviews or has a very low number of reviews, especially compared to the competitors in their area. But because the search engines take into account how recently reviews have been left, it's still a good idea to prompt customers on a semi-regular basis to leave you reviews, so that way you can also get 1 or 2 additional reviews on a regular basis just to keep the newness of the reviews alive and going.
All right. Well, I think that's about time for us today. Thank you, everyone, for attending. A live recording will be made available to you within 24 hours of this presentation. And if you can't find more SIM, if you would like to find more SIM resources, you can visit at our resource center, which is right here. Thank you for attending, and have a great day.